This is the WWE NXT February 27, 2024 full show results video, and the show opens with Ilya Dragunov in the ring, where he calls Carmelo Hayes out. Hayes comes down with security between him and Ilya and talks about how Dragunov's persona disgusts him and he refuses to get in the ring with him until he sees a contract. Ilya takes some security out just to show he can and they square off, ring to ramp. Then we saw a match between Kelani Jordan vs Kiana James, and the result of this match was Kiana James to Kelani Jordan feed by pinfall with an inverted overdrive after Izzy Dame's interference. The next match happened between Edris Enof and Malik Blade vs Good Brothers, and the result of this match was Good Brothers won the match by pinfall with a magic killer on Edris Enof. Post-match, Chase U come down and tell the Good Brothers they're about to learn that Karma is a bitch, and Duke Hudson says this week their backs aren't turned and that means it's time for an Andre Chase University-sized, and Nathan Fraser and Axiom interrupt and Fraser says they've got Good Brothers next. The babyface teams bicker, the LWO appears from behind and dives on the Biz Cliz boys, Gallows and Anderson retreat up the stage and Wolf Dogs appear in the crowd to survey the scene. Oba Femi rolls up on Ava Rain's office to ask who his next victim is going to be and she tells him she has to figure that out, and Ilya Dragunov arrives to step to the big man, champion to champion. The next match happened between Jakara Jackson vs Roxanne Perez, and the result of this match was Roxanne Perez won the match by submission with the arm trap crossface. Thea Hail is backstage with whatever the wrestling girl version of the Diamond Dogs are breaking down the failure of her date with Riley Osborne, who wants to just be friends now because he was interested in the old Thea. JC Jane tells her the old Thea was lame and if it wasn't for her, Chase U wouldn't exist anymore, and Kiana James and Izzy Dame roll up and JC says Kiana gets it and mocks Hale for wanting to take advice from Fallon Henley, and the Mean Girls walk off together and Thea is dejected. Back from the commercial, Wolf Dogs confront Good Brothers backstage and Baron Corbin is very calm and Braun Breaker is hyped, and Good Brothers say that Magic Killer last week invigorated them and they're gonna win the tag titles soon. Baron taunts Carl about getting slapped by AJ Styles, and Braun says this is fun and games, but when the bell rings and the dogs come out, they destroy everyone. The next match happened between Donovan Dijak vs Luca Crusifino, and the result of this match was Donovan Dijak won the match by pinfall with Feast Your Eyes. Joe Gacy is out of the asylum and still wearing the straitjacket, here to wreak unholy terror on Dijak. Lyra Valkyria makes her entrance and gets on the mic and said last week she made Tatum Paxley a promise and now that she held up her end of the bargain it's time to give her what she deserves. Tatum Paxley makes her entrance, slithering over the barricade, and Lyra says she spoke to Ava Rain and made some calls and next week they're gonna team together, not as friends, but because they have a common goal, taking on the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles, and Tatum Paxley was so excited. Ridge Holland into the ring, and says he's a man of action more than words, but he tends to take it too far, and now he's here to apologize for those actions. He was defending himself and his family, with no malice, and he's interrupted by text and a voiceover in the style of the man has three faces teasers, and he gets walloped across the back by a man holding a chair. The mystery attacker takes his hood down, and it was Shawn Spears. The next match happened between Lexis King vs Von Wagner, and the result of this match was Von Wagner won the match by pinfall with a schoolboy pin. Post-match, Lexis attacks Wagner and punches his leg until Mr. Stone makes the save with a handful of hair, a back fist from King staggers him and hits Coronation. The next match happened between Gigi Dolin vs Jada Parker, and the result of this match was Jada Parker won the match by pinfall with a sliding forearm after an interference by Ariana Grace. Then we saw a match between Charlie Dempsey vs Noam Dar for the NXT Heritage Cup, and the result of this match was Charlie Dempsey won the match with the 2 falls and won the NXT Heritage Cup. Back from the commercial, Shawn Spears is interviewed in the parking lot and he says he likes Ridge Holland, but he's been lying to himself, and now the truth is the pain he feels, and that's why he attacked him, and he'll see him next week. The ring is set up for Carmelo Hayes' contract signing, and Hayes starts talking and says it's great that they're finally speaking the same language, and don't mind his security, and sooner, D'Angelo joined them. Carmelo's here demanding a title match, but he'll earn a title match at Stand and Deliver. Ilya says he's picked his interest and he respects that he's willing to work for his position, and Tony says Ava agrees if he does, and it'll be Carmelo Hayes vs Tony D'Angelo next week, winner fights Ilya at Stand and Deliver. Ava Rain says ultimately it's up to Ilya who he wants to defend the title against, and Dragunov says he'd love to see Melo earn something and gives Tony his match, asking him to please whoop that Melo. Tony accidentally elbows Ilya, he turns in shock, and Hayes slams him through the table and signs the contract over him before throwing the title belt at Ilya. Carmelo stands tall and the show goes off the air.